My topic is purpose today. I want to talk to you about these two challenges. The first challenge is for us to find ourselves. And we find ourselves when we discover our purpose. Nothing is better than for a person created by God in His image with a plan for his or her life to find themselves, find that purpose. It's what makes you solid. It's what makes you secure. It's your mooring. It keeps you just exactly where you need to be so that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. To discover your purpose, to find yourself. What a wonderful thing. That's what our subject is about today. But there's a second challenge. Once we find our purpose, discover why we're here, there's a second challenge that we have, that we face, and that is to lose ourselves. We're to find ourselves. Isn't it interesting to lose ourselves? And we lose ourselves when our purpose becomes bigger than us. To find a purpose, how important. But then to take that purpose and place it in a position with people that has eternal factors involved is to lose yourself and to go to another whole level of life and another level of living. Many people never do either in their life. They never find themselves. They never lose themselves. Some people find themselves, but they never lose themselves. Very few people find themselves and lose themselves. And the aim of this lesson today is to help us know how to discover our purpose and then how to place that purpose in a position that is so much bigger than us that we can literally lose ourselves in the process. Now, this teaching of finding and losing is given to us by Jesus in Mark chapter 8. Then Jesus called the crowd and his disciples to him. If you want to come to me, he told them, you must forget yourself, carry your cross and follow me. For if you want to save your life, you will lose it. But if you lose your life for me and the gospel, you will save it. Jesus introduces us to the fact in this lesson, in this teaching, that we can save our life if we lose our life. That if we give ourselves to him, to a greater cause, we'll literally find it and lose it. He teaches us literally and gives us the foundation of how to do this. So the first question we have to ask ourselves this morning is how do we find ourselves? That's challenge number one. And we find ourselves when we discover our purpose. This morning, as I was preparing my heart for our time together in teaching, I was in my hotel here, near here. And I went down early in the lobby and I got in a little place kind of in an area where I could just kind of be by myself. And I began to pour my heart out over what I was going to teach. And I was in the passage in Jeremiah 29, one of my favorite scripture verses. And just really hang with me here on this. God says, I know the thoughts and plans that I have for you. Thoughts and plans for welfare and peace, not for evil, to give you hope in your final income. And as I sat in the lobby this morning and I began to see these words again, as I've read them many, many times, I've quoted them many times, and it hit me that God has thoughts and plans for me. And he not only has thoughts and plans for me, he has thoughts and plans for you. When you, let me put it this way, let me contextualize this. When you woke up this morning, God was thinking about you. Yeah, he was. And when he created you in his image, he had plans for you. You're not an accident. We're not here because we just kind of happened to be at the end of an explosion. That we are here because we are divinely placed here with the thoughts of God. All right, the question is then, how do we find our purpose? If he has a purpose for us, he has plans for us, if he's been thinking about us, how do we find it? There are two questions we have to ask ourselves to find our purpose in life. And question number one is, what am I passionate about? Passion often is linked with purpose. What I love to do is often what I should do. We have been created within us the capacity to have things that we enjoy greatly. And a lot of times there is a definite relationship between what I am in love with and what I should be doing. We are created and wired in such a way that passion and purpose many times comes together. And passion is the great energizer. Once you have passion, you have energy. Once you find your passion, you find your purpose, there is something energetic about it. You have never known a person who was passionate that lacked energy. We talk about high energy people, we talk about low energy people. There's no such thing as like low energy people or high energy people. If you have high energy, you have passion. If you have low energy, you don't have any passion. Now, when I say passion and purpose are linked, that is usually the case. It is not always the case. It is possible to be passionate about something that you're not good at. It's possible to be passionate about something that you're not gifted in. Hello? Let me explain. Have you ever watched the tryouts at an American Idol? So it's possible. It's possible to be passionate about something that you're not good at. But I know this, if you're passionate, that it will increase your energy. And the second thing that I've discovered about passion is it sets us apart. It sets us above the crowd. A person with passion always stands out. The world is so full of apathy. It's so full of average. It's so full of whatever. That once you have passion and once you have a sense of energy in your life, it just sets you apart. It distinguishes you. It already gives you what I would call a head start in success in life. Can I tell you something? When you're passionate about something, it isn't reasonable, but you do it anyway. When you're passionate about something, it's not possible, but you do it anyway. When you're passionate about something, passion will take you where nothing else will ever take you. It'll give you that decided edge. It'll help you to stand out. Wow. Now, let me just say something about purpose and dreams and finding your purpose. I wrote a book a few years ago called Put Your Dream to the Test. And basically, it's questions you need to ask yourself to make sure if your dream is a valid dream. And I would go around and I would teach off of this Put Your Dreams to the Test lesson. And all of a sudden it hit me that there were a lot of people that didn't have their own dream. I had assumed when I wrote the book that everybody had a dream. I've had a dream. And all of a sudden I realized there were people coming to me and said, well, I don't have a dream for myself. And I could see that they were a little lost, and all of a sudden it hit me. And this is what I want you to understand. You may not have your own big dream for you, but it is probably because God has someone for you that he wants you to join and help them fulfill their dream. You see, this is a biblical principle. Not everybody has their own purpose and own personal dream. Look at the fishermen down at the Sea of Galilee when Jesus walked into their life and said, hey guys, follow me. I'm going to make you fishers of men. What did he do? When he walked into their life, he gave them a dream that they didn't have. He gave them a cause that they didn't have. He gave them a person to hang around with that they didn't have. And let me tell you something. Sometimes God has people literally designed to come along and complement each other so that the dream can be filled. Teamwork makes the dream work. There's some of you, your place, your purpose, your dream is to come alongside, complement, add value, and do something for someone that they cannot do for themselves. Every great person is great because people have come around and supported that dream and supported that vision. Look at Jonathan and David in the Old Testament. Jonathan rightfully was going to be the next king. His father Saul was the king. He was the rightful heir. But when he saw David, he said, no. David is the anointed one. I'm going to back up. I'm not going to be the king of Israel. I'm going to support David. I'm going to let him be the king of Israel. I'm going to be a king maker. And Jonathan understood that whole possibility of putting his purpose into the purpose of someone else. But the second question we ask ourselves is not only what am I passionate about, but what are my strengths? What am I good at? What is my spiritual giftedness? Because when God created you, he gave you gifts, spiritual strengths, to enable you to find and fulfill your purpose. And here's what I know, that when you find your spiritual gift, you'll be good at it. You really will be. It'll be just what you do well. It'll fit. It'll be natural. It'll be easy. You'll have an opportunity to use it. When you find your spiritual gift, God's going to give you the opportunity to use it. He's not going to give you a gift and then not let you have the opportunity to use it for others. You'll be energized by it. When you find your spiritual gift, all of a sudden it'll give you an energy that you just didn't. I mean, you'll just love it. You'll just love it. You won't wear out. Can I tell you something? When you're in the area of your weaknesses, you get tired, don't you? But when you're in the area of your strengths, you're energized. And I would also say when you find your spiritual gifts, you'll have capacity to develop them. You'll really get good. You're good now, but once you start developing and working your spiritual gifts, you really get good. So now that's how we find our purpose, by our passion and by our giftedness. So then how do we lose ourselves? We lose ourselves because we lose ourselves when we give our purpose to something bigger than us. When all of a sudden we say, okay, I've got to give myself to something bigger than me. Jesus said it. What he said? He said, you'll lose your life. He said, you'll lose your life when you follow me and when you give it for the sake of the gospel. When you take your purpose and position it in something bigger than you, he said, all of a sudden you'll begin to lose yourself. So for your notes, when you're bigger than your purpose, when we're bigger than our purpose, we have a career. I deal in the marketplace all the time in leadership. And I deal all the time with people that have careers, and most of them, they're bigger than their career. They've got a career, but it's always looking out for me and how am I going to advance and how am I going to achieve? And they're bigger than the purpose, and so they have a career. But can I tell you something? When your purpose is bigger than you, you have a calling. And losing yourself is when you get a calling. And it's a calling because now it's no longer just you. It's more than you. It's bigger than you. In my own little journey, I've had 4 steps to this, what I would call losing myself with my purpose journey. It started out with, I want to make a difference. As a young person, I just wanted to make a difference, just like every one of you. Every one of you in this auditorium today, I can promise you, if I could come in and sit beside you and you and I could have a conversation, every one of you would say, John, I'd like to make a difference in my life. I'd like to do something that really, really matters. That's how my journey began. I want to make a difference. And then one day I realized I had to go beyond that. There was another step, and I went from I want to make a difference to step 2. I want to make a difference doing something that makes a difference. This is now I'm going to begin to lose myself. I'm going to begin to lose myself because now I'm focusing on doing something in my life that has eternal value. I'm going to do something in my life that is bigger than me, that lives beyond me, that can never be satisfied or fulfilled or achieved by me. I want to make a difference doing something that makes a difference. I'm now beginning to lose myself. And then I went to step 3. I want to make a difference doing something that makes a difference with people who make a difference. Because I realized all of a sudden that the big things in life, the great things in life, take a team. One is too small of a number to achieve greatness. And if you're going to do something amazing, it's going to be because you do it with other people. I want to make a difference, doing something that makes a difference with people that make a difference. And then because of my age at 66, because time is important and every day I'm counting my days, I have to count my days. There's a 4th part for me. I want to make a difference doing something that makes a difference with people that make a difference at a time when it makes a difference. Got to make it count. I don't get many more do-it-overs. Got to make sure that I do it right on the front end. For several years, I go to the Indianapolis 500. Tony George, who owned all that and was over that race, read all my books. And he would have me come in on race day and talk to the drivers, the owners, and then we'd go up to his suite and we'd watch the Indianapolis 500. We were having lunch before the race one day, and Tony looked at me across the table and he said, John, what's the difference between success and significance? I said, oh, Tony, success is when I add value to myself. Significance is when I add value to others. and you lose yourself not in success. You find yourself in success. You lose yourself in significance. It's when we begin to add value to others that we begin to lose ourselves, because now the cause is greater. Our why, our purpose, our why is bigger than us. And when our why is bigger than us, when you find your why, you'll find your way. Everything changes at that time. I shared with you earlier that I'm 66, so people ask me all the time, they say, John, when are you going to retire? I'm not going to retire because I've lost my way. My purpose is greater than me. I have a calling, not a career. A career you in, a career you kind of phase out. And there's all kinds of things you do with the career, but with the calling, what I do is what I love to do, and I don't want to retire. I don't have any desire to retire. I didn't come to Birmingham because I wanted another plane trip. I didn't come to Birmingham because I wanted to see Birmingham. I've seen Birmingham. I came to Birmingham because I wanted to see you. And I wanted to see you because I thought I had a message perhaps that could help you find your purpose and maybe spark something within you that would begin to get you on your way to finding and losing your purpose. That's why I came. I'm having the time of my life. I tweeted my wife, Margaret, before I went out. I said, oh, this is what I was born for. I was born for this. And if I was born for this, why would I want to stop? I've decided that I'm going to live until I die. And I've decided I'm not going to get those two confused. Because a lot of people do. So some people say, when are you going to retire? I don't know when I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire when I die. When I die, I am retiring. I'm going to make it official. When I'm dead, I am writing no more books. I'm not writing any more books, I kid you not. And when I'm dead, I don't care how many times Chris asks me when I'm dead, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming, but I'm going to tell you, till I die, I think I'll live. And I think I'll live because I have a passion for what I do, and I have a purpose for what I do, and I've found my purpose, and I've lost my purpose, and I've lost my purpose in you. Every time you put yourself into someone else, everything changes. That's what I want for you. That's why I came here. I came because this morning when you woke up, God had thoughts about you. Yes, he did. This morning when you woke up, he said, I got a plan for them. I got a plan. Today, God's thinking about you. Today, God has a plan for you. You are special, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. God is thinking about you and has a plan for you right now.